Oh, what is going on, everybody?
Hello!
It is Pixel Partners here, and welcome back to the Greatest Attorney. When we left off, we've got Egg Bennett. I'm not going to call him like that. We've got Egg on the stand still.
Yeah, Egg.
You don't deserve to have your regular name, okay, sir?
Egg to me.
And we're going on with the cross-examining, and he's being a little dicky dick.
He's as pale as an egg.
Yeah, but we're trying to break through, and we've got this picture thing here, and they're like, apparently Scotland Yarders looked very long at this picture, and they're like, oh, it's fine, it's identical. We figured it out before we even stopped the video last time.
Yeah.
But Iris wonders if they really are identical, but they're not. Huh?
Very well, defense. The court wishes to confirm the following. On the night of the crime, nothing was stolen from the crime scene. Do you acknowledge this as the truth?
No. Do I? Show me these photos again. Is there really nothing odd about them?
Point out abnormality.
I had a feeling all along. There's clearly something odd about these two pictures. What?
Blind Dracula.
Defense, the court orders you to point out this oddity. Point out the abnormality in these photos.
That would be. I don't know. I don't know if the side matters, but I'll go left. Always go left. There's left box. That box switch. I will acknowledge that these photos look nearly identical.
Yeah.
But there's just one part that's different. What? I've been looking at that for 5 hours. Taking these pictures stereoscopically. I didn't even need that, but okay. Oh.
Ooh, it's so fancy.
Okay, that's definitely got to be McGonagall's box then.
Yeah.
This small box almost appears to jump out from the pictures.
It's very pretty.
No, I don't believe it. Well, you better believe it.
You have to
It's
use,
there.
You have to use one of those.
Oh, God, Judge.
Oh no.
You're right. It's jumping right out at me.
Oh, man, I hate this. There's only one logical
I love
conclusion.
how even the developers were like, we can't show Vanzi's crossing his eyes.
He's too dignified. It
Yeah.
fits his character. He wouldn't dare do it.
No.
The judge makes entire sense. That night, McGonagall's box was not stolen. Instead, someone did pick up this box before trying to put it back where he found it.
But then this is it, isn't it?
This is the small box deposited by McGonagall. Balderdash, what is this supposed to change? Huh? It wasn't stolen, it was just moved. The circumstances of the crime still haven't changed at all.
There's probably something in it, you
I don't know, but he's right, McGonagall's box wasn't stolen. It was just moved a bit. Does that mean the situation hasn't changed? Changes everything. It's a box. What do you do with a box?
You keep
look
stuff
at it?
in it. You look at it. Yeah.
Dumbass. Don't you think this changed the circumstances of the crime completely? What do you mean?
He's just freaking 5'6" Naruto talking to a 6'4" Van Zeke. It's just like, dumbass.
The issues here is what was moved. A small box. That must mean something was inside, right? What? Like most boxes do. They contain things.
No, like every box.
We need to examine the small box pictured here right away. It should still be on the shelf in Hatch's shop. There's no point. The owner of this box has been dead for 2 months. What does that have to do with us?
Objection overruled, Lord Franzique. Bailiff, head to the crime scene at once. Retrieve the box in question and examine the contents.
Yes, sir.
It felt so good to tell him objection overruled.
Yeah.
Like, listen, I'm sure he has character development. If not in this game, then in the next one, whatever. But right now, he's not.
Watch him be the one prosecutor that doesn't fall into the Ace Attorney
Redemption arc thing.
the whole, or at least the whole storyline of where the prosecutor's always the bad guy, and then by the end they're good. Edgeworth starts bad, he becomes our friend. Francesca, bad guy becomes friend. Godot, bad guy, kind of becomes friend, but, for his own reasons. But, he gets friendlier. He has his whole thing of why he does it, it gets good. Yeah. Then you go to Clavier, but a little bit of a, he is an eccentric fellow.
Yeah.
But, doesn't usually like you. Then he gets on your side. Yeah. Blackwell, bad guy, turns good.
Blackwell thought he was a freaking convicted murderer. It turns out he's a pretty chill dude.
Naida, bad guy, turns good by the end. Still don't quite like him, but no. I mean, it's just Naida. No offense to Naida, just wasn't that great of a character. And then, and then that's all. Then there was never any prosecution in the investigation games. But all right, report within 30 minutes. That's you.
Okay.
I expect a report within 30 minutes.
Rant done.
Perhaps this would be a good time for recess.
Can't believe the Crown Court is being dragged about for such a pointless display.
You need to calm your boots. What was that?
This is just more Japanese smoke and mirrors. They adore this foolishness. Why do you say that? This college boy had jumped to a ridiculous conclusion from the very start. He thinks our witness was trying to steal McGundle's pledges. But if he had any common sense, he would realize that none of it was worth stealing. Exactly. It's absurd to even imagine I would attempt a robbery. It's not because of the value you need to hide something. As you all know, McGundle was killed immediately after his trial. If he was declared not guilty, it was proven without a shadow of a doubt. The great Cosby McGundle was an upstanding Londoner who wouldn't hurt a fly. You proved it yourself, college boy. He was an upstanding citizen who deposited some average pledges. A black coat with a disc in his pocket and a small box. Also, you couldn't pay me to take those off your hands. But you wanted them.
Mm-hmm.
To protect. He's right. Cash.
Don't be daft, you get part of one of cash.
Cash, money. Yes, I like money.
Indeed, the prosecution raises a good point.
The defense must show adequate proof.
Stop
Prove
wasting
the significance of the items pledged by your upstanding former client. Huh?
Your thoughts, defense? Do you have anything to present? What is the basis behind your claim that these items are related to the case at hand?
What's wrong, Ryu? Isn't it kind of obvious that both of those are super important pieces of evidence?
Of course, it's obvious to you and me. We know the truth about both McGundle and his disc. But if I tell the truth right now, that means telling everyone the truth of the acquittal I won from McGundle.
Yeah.
To prove that it was an innocent verdict made
Incorrect
possible.
verdict.
Incorrect verdict made possible by forged evidence.
Oh.
And we'd also be telling everyone that Gina committed perjury.
Oh yeah. Oh no.
I don't want to imagine this, but does Prosecutor Van Zeeks know? Is that why he's doing this?
But this might actually be a good opportunity.
Huh? Hi, Iris.
Come on, you say it all the time. The truth will always come to light.
Huh? What is the deeper meaning behind McGundle's pledges? The only one who can tell us is Gina. But if I ask her to testify, she can inadvertently put us at a major disadvantage.
Ooh.
Should I have Gina testify?
Hey.
I guess we're kind of going to need it.
Yeah.
Because we need something to go off of at least to get it going. My lord, I would like to make a proposal.
And what would that be, defense?
While Mr. McGundle's box is being transported to the Crown Court, I would like to hear the defendant testify. Let's bring Gina Lestrade to the stand.
The defendant? But for what purpose?
I want to know more about the items Mr. McGundle pledged to Hatch as pawnbrokers. Gina Lestrade knows something more than the circumstances surrounding them. If she testifies, I'm sure that everyone will understand just how important these pieces of evidence really are. Oh, how very fascinating. Hope you haven't forgotten. know what your client's testimony means for the both of you. I know.
Lord Van Zieks, could you explain your statement?
The prosecution consents to the defense's request, but the current cross-examination will hold and demand testimony from the accused.
Very well then, I shall. Now the court requests the defendant's testimony. The current witnesses should retire to the lobby and wait further instruction.
Can I go?
Your hat's gone, remember?
And if you'll excuse me. Hold it, witness. Remain at the stand. You are to listen to the defendant's testimony. Understood? Gina's going to testify now. Please, you have to trust me here, Gina.
For you.
It's our best shot.
Yeah. I bet there's gonna be reactions going on, obviously.
Oh, yeah. The items that McGundle pledged to Hatch's pawnbrokers are deeply connected to that case from 2 months ago.
Do you believe this girl stood as a witness during that trial, yes?
She did. Her testimony established Mr. Gundle's innocence. What an interesting turn of events. Everyone connected to that case is once again gathered here now. Perhaps this is what we call fate, Japanese boy. 2 months ago,
It's like, I have a name.
a bricklayer was stabbed to death inside an omnibus in the dead of winter. The only one inside the coach along with the victim was Mr. McGundle. Naturally, Mr. McGundle was fingered as the prime suspect. But as the trial progressed, a new possibility emerged. It was possible that the murder had actually occurred on the roof, and that the victim's lifeless body had been dropped through the skylight. Gina Lestrade's testimony brought that possibility to light. At that time, Gina was hiding in the omnibus. She hoped to steal from the coach's passengers. And so, Mr. McGundle was declared not guilty. But immediately after the trial, he mysteriously died inside the Crown Court. 2 months have passed, but neither case has reached a conclusion. Neither the omnibus murder nor the arson.
However, the defendant's pledges weren't mentioned at that trial, I believe.
Gina? Will you tell us the truth? Now's the time to speak out. Tell us what really happened during that crime 2 months ago.
I wouldn't have a clue. I mean, I've said all I know.
You told us the real truth yesterday at the jail, didn't you?
Oh.
Please, I beg of you. This is really important.
But...
If during your testimony 2 months ago, you happened to purposely hide the truth from this court, naturally you'll be tried for perjury.
Yeah...
On top of that, your reliability as a witness will be called into question. Though I must say, I have to wonder if you were ever to be considered reliable in the first place.
Jesus. Jean-Bean! Please, you got to trust Ryu! Iris? We're on your side, Jean-Bean! Alright then.
Perjury's better than murder, hey!
I'll talk, yeah.
Gina! I suppose the defense has found the resolve to crush his own reputation.
Oh yeah, that too.
I'd have to say I don't think I quite understand what's happening here. But it appears there's some sort of secret being kept here. That secret involves Mr. McGundle's pledges and the incident 2 months ago.
Oh boy.
Go on, witness. The court orders you to testify. Testify about the truth you have yet to reveal.
Everything's going to come to light here in this Crown Court. Prosecutor Van Zieks is right. The only way forward is to steal my resolve as an attorney.
Yep. Alright, girly girl.
Alright, truth 2 months ago.
Truth is, the victim was in the omnibus too. When I was pulled out of my seat, I saw that disc on the floor. Then I heard a scream from above. That's when the other 2 passengers ran for the police. The gondol handed the coachman some money and sent him to the nearby pawn shop. He threatened me. I had to keep quiet about what had been heard. Been seen and heard.
What in blazes is going on with her testimony? It's completely different from her testimony 2 months ago, is it not?
Indeed it is, my lord.
It almost seems as if the verdict handed down to Mr. McGondle was a complete mistake. Furthermore, it seems as if Mr. McGondle himself is scheming to deceive the court. Can only imagine there was a very sinister plot working in the shadows.
It's undeniable that there was a foul play afoot at the trial 2 months ago. An unforgivable deed committed by the defendant, the witness, and even the defense.
Good heavens!
That whole trial was nothing but lies and for testimony?
Miss McGonagall, the witness, and even the Japanese attorney, they were all in cahoots.
No, you're all wrong. No. I mean, that attorney bloke didn't know.
You're not fooling anyone!
He didn't know. That's hardly reliable testimony.
How horrifying, ain't you? An acquittal with devilish lies.
This evil cannot be left to fester. Go, punish them all.
Ooh, that all hurts. I will acknowledge that we committed a grave crime, not one easily forgiven. I am prepared to accept any punishment that awaits me. However,
I think he said forgotten.
this testimony makes the truth clear. The items that Mr. McGonagall left behind are of profound significance. Very well exchanged, student. Huh? If you're so passionate about the truth, the least we can do is listen.
Wow.
These are indeed regrettable circumstances, Master Naruto.
My lord.
A suitable punishment will be formulated after this trial is ended.
Understood.
Naruto.
Now begin your cross-examination.
Oh boy.
She's just like, why are you doing this?
Do you guys back turn to us? I think he does.
Oh, yeah.
I can't look at him yet, not until he press. The victim was on the omnibus too. Hold it. You were hiding inside the omnibus at that point, right? As I recall, you were inside the seat trunk.
Yeah, but it was pitch black, so I couldn't see nothing. They're talking.
Huh. Okay.
Why?
I'll wait for you two to pipe up later, I guess.
They're just doing their own thing right now.
Yeah.
Huh.
Okay. Anyways.
2 months ago, you testified that the only passenger inside the coach was Mr. McGondle, yes?
In other words, she told us all bold-faced lies.
Blooming McGondle made me say that.
It's okay, Gina. Just tell the truth now. Were McGondle and the victim acquainted?
Not a clue. But they were kind of yammering at each other the whole time.
What were they talking about?
I couldn't hear them all too proper, but it sort of sounded like business. They were talking about buying something.
Sounds like they were making some sort of deal.
It got louder and louder till it sounded like they were starting a right aggressive row. Row, I don't know. Shook me so much I could hardly breathe, but then all of a sudden there was a real loud noise. It sounded like someone had fell.
That was just when you screamed, correct?
Yeah. And then that bugger McGondle found me. Right goblin he was.
Hold on, see some disc on the floor. About that disc you saw, did it look like this?
Yeah, that's probably it. It was on the floor right next to that guy.
Wonder if that disc actually belonged to the victim.
McGondle swiped it right up and shoved it into his coat. And then he made me sit in the seat opposite from him.
What did McGondle say to you?
I was told to keep my lids zipped and talk about absolutely nothing I had seen or heard there. That included the disc. His eyes terrified me. If I didn't say yes, I was sure he'd stab me too. Then he started asking me all sorts of stuff about myself. My name, where I live, about my life as a pickpocket too.
And eventually the murder scene was discovered.
Yeah, I heard it clatter from above.
Up on the housetop. Click, click, click.
Oh, God.
Down through the skylight with good Saint Fair Lady.
Fair Lady? You mean Fair Play?
Fair play.
You always
What
get-
was the other one?
Lady First.
Lady
You
First,
always
that's
mix
the
them
one.
up. Fair Lady.
Oh, that's their ship name. There we go.
No!
Okay.
No! Cursed! Stop! Cease, desist right now!
All right. Let's go talk about the
my
passengers
God.
above and all that stuff. There were 2 passengers on the roof seats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That lot screamed when they had saw the body through the skylight. The coachman stopped the coach straight away and McGonagall made me hide.
He made you hide.
Yeah, he shoved me right back into the trunk. When the omnibus stopped, two lot on the roof ran off to call the police.
That proves that those 2 passengers truly weren't connected to the murder. So the only ones left at the scene were you, McGundle, and the coachman.
Yeah, but I was hiding in the trunk. Since someone left the coach door open, I could hear him talking outside.
If I remember right, the coachman testified in McGundle's trial as well.
Beppo!
I think his name was Mr. Beppo.
What a good lad.
I remember Beppo.
What were they talking about?
I heard one of them say something like, I have no idea what happened.
That'd probably be McGundle.
Yeah.
They could for some money and send him to the nearby pawn shop. That pawn shop would be none other than Hatch's pawnbrokers, right?
Hold on. Then, no, you must be saying the coachman was lying as well.
At the very least, the pawn shop was not brought up in that trial.
My word.
He took off his black coat and gave it to the coachman. It was a well-wicked looking coat. He patted it down proper and before handing over. I saw that. It was all clear. Stuff he was popping was worth a heck of a lot of a heck of a lot of dosh. Sorry. Heck of a
That
lot.
would explain why Gina was trying to sell the disc for such a high price. Remember, she was arguing with Hatch over its value on the day of the crime.
Cash, dosh, same thing. With McGondle's water cash in hand, the coachman was happy to go to the pawn shop. And McGondle ordered me over. Told me to go outside the omnibus.
All right. Threatened me, had to keep quiet about it, seen or heard. He threatened you?
Told me that if I did what I was told, I'd be free to go off home.
Did you tell you to commit perjury, you little thief?
That and one more thing. He had another order for me.
And that would be?
He told me to take the pledge ticket from the coachman and keep it safe.
A pledge ticket?
And then, if he didn't come back to redeem it in 2 months, I was to go to the pawn shop and pay off the interest, extending the redemption period. He gave me the dosh just for that.
I don't quite understand. Why would Mr. McGondle do such a thing? Why would he need to deposit his coat before the arrival of the police?
I can only think of one reason. McGonagall didn't want those items to be seen by the police. They were very important items they had no choice but to hide.
After all that, he let me leave the crime scene.
Good job telling the truth,
Yep,
Gina.
she didn't hide anything. She being trusty, Ryu!
Even still, she's going to be tried for perjury after this trial is over.
Yeah.
That's a chance to get details from
But
her.
still, like you said, better than murder.
Yeah.
Alrighty, we gotta press her so hard that she can't even stand anymore.
Yeah, sure.
You know, something's kind of bothering me.
What is it, Iris?
Yeah. Those two have been whispering about something for a while now.
She's right. It looks like they're engrossed in a secret discussion. They almost seem panicked. I wonder if there's something I can do about it. The moment I saw the two of them talking, it made something click to me. That what if Egg was sent there to try and get those back? But, like, I don't know.
For Scotland Yard?
Maybe. So that way it wouldn't have to be the police who did it, because I don't know. It's why would they be talking right now?
I don't know.
And what
Something's
like
fishy.
what connection is it that makes egg need to go there to get those items? That's the biggest, because obviously McGundle had to hide those for a reason that Scotland Yard is doing their best to get, but then keep away from Van Zeeks as well, because they got the music disc, but they had to keep that away from Van Zeeks.
We'll know more when we get the box from the pawn shop, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. They'll have that box will have all the answers, hopefully.
Or it'll be empty and we'll be like, well...
Okay. They never piped up during this, though.
No, not yet anyway.
Unless I can just... Can I just question them at any point? I just want to press
Poor Gina,
something
she
quick.
needs a hug. She looks so uncomfortable right now.
Can I just interrupt you guys? Can I just... Hello. Pardon me, Inspector Gregson and Mr. Crowgray. Inspector Gregson, Mr. Crowgray.
What do you want? Why did you do that?
You seem to be whispering something for a moment there. A long moment. May I ask what you were discussing?
Discussing? Don't be ridiculous. I have nothing to say to such a suspicious man.
I must agree I have nothing to say to an inspector who seized my rightful property. Those two have been talking since the beginning of my cross-examination. It's almost as if they've been negotiating about something.
You had to have seen it too, right, dude? It's being quiet about it, though.
That's enough. The court desires no further testimony. The truth of this case has become startlingly clear.
2 months ago, a sudden deal was taking place inside that omnibus. They've been negotiating the price of this disc, but it seemed negotiations failed. Outraged by the price of the disc, McGundle chose to steal it by force, and want to add murder to the laundry list of other crimes he had already committed. But that just shows how significant this disc really is. Hope they don't ask me why it's so important, though. 2 months passed, and 2 days before this crime, McGundle's pledges would reach the deadline for their redemption period.
I had no idea what I was meant to be doing with that ticket thingy. I mean, I knew he kicked the bucket after that trial and all.
Much like the pickpocket you are, you moved to take his pledge for yourself.
Well, they was just gonna get flogged off, and what's the harm of me taking them? You can't blame a girl for wanting a dapper coat, can you?
Cosney McGundle murdered a man just to get his hands on this disc. Would you happen to know why, miss?
Like I have a clue. It's just... It had to be worth a fortune, so if I took it, maybe I could flog it off for a good sum. Can't blame a girl for wanting to make some quick moolah, can you? Someone.
My lord!
Oh God, who?
Probably the bailiff.
Yep.
The bailiff has just returned from the evidence in with new evidence.
The box. It's
Yep.
here. But will they have taken what's inside it?
Probably since it was moved.
McGundle pledged that mysterious box 2 months ago. It has to be the key to solving this mystery. Open it. Open it. Open it.
Stop.
Open it!
Stop. You're hitting the cord against the table.
I know. To be continued right now. Save. There we go. Doodle-a-doot-doot-dow. Perfect. Let's go back into it. What will that box hold?
If anything.
It better hold something. It's our key to everything.
It's a pretty box.
It's a good box.
It's a good box.
Mm.
Good box.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the small box played by Mr. McGundle 2 months ago.
Think back to the night of the crime. This was the only box that the intruder took with him.
Come on, hurry up and open it. Whoa.
It plays the music disc.
But this is obviously no simple box.
I had a feeling that was the case. It appears to be a portable music box. Oh, you look angry.
A music box? Then could this be...
It looks like made for this particular disc.
Well,
See, I was gonna say that it could be a music box, but I thought it was a lot smaller than a disc. I was like, where would the disc go in there?
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, so it can't be that, but I guess it pops out to make room
Yeah.
for the disc.
It was made specifically for Mr. McGundle's disc then?
To be accurate, that disc was not McGundle's. This is the disc that they stole from the victim after murdering him in cold blood.
But for what reason would a poor bricklayer try to sell a music box disc?
Well, let's play it and find out.
Yeah.
Put it in. Excuse me. I believe I'll be clear once we listen to the music carved onto this disc.
Very well. Let us listen to the disc using this music box.
Let's do it. What? Oh. Please, my lord, you can't.
Why?
Well, why not, witness?
This was what has to do with the trial. I just don't believe there's any need to, listen to the music in our dignified crown court. This disc was so important that Mortar was murdered for it. There's more than enough evidence that it may be irrelevant to this trial. The prosecution has no objections. But we have the honorary side of this piece of evidence, shouldn't? I'm sure Scotland Yard has plenty of misguided opinions on the matter, but the prosecution came to court ready to examine every bit of evidence exhaustively.
Oh, damn.
It's out of your control now.
Damn.
Grrr!
What is happening? Pure chaos!
Now then, let the music play.
All right, let's hear what this has got for us.
DJ.
That's Morse code.
It is. Huh. I wish I knew Morse code, but...
Hey, lady. Hey, telegraph
I was
lady.
about to say, she's probably gonna freak out.
Well, what in blazes? I say, this noise doesn't sound like any music I've ever heard.
He's right.
It's a new genre.
It's just the same note playing repeatedly in an unnatural rhythm.
Witness?
Oh, this is wonderful. It seems.
The
music box is broken. Who could have guessed that it would happen? It's broken? There's no way. Oh, but of course, perhaps. A rather clumsy little bailiff dropped it on his way back to the Crown Court.
It is rather unfortunate, but I don't think there's anything to be gained from listening to a broken music box.
He's like,
What are your thoughts, defense?
I wonder. It certainly does sound like it's broken.
It's not.
Can we find any new leads by listening to this music box? Well, actually, here's what it could be. Because when you look at it, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'd like to expect, we'll find out if there's a point to this next time, but theory time.
Oh boy.
Because that music box looks like, if it was Morse code, it would be like, it would be singular lines going down the whole thing. It wouldn't have the patterns of music boxes of the different notes. I think it was music that was created to hide a message in the first place that was supposed to be transcribed with the rhythm for Morse code. And what Homeboy probably did, Egg, he tried to break the music box so that no one could listen to it. But instead, he just made it easier to figure out that it was a secret message. That'd be my thought, is that the reason why it moved is because that night he went there and tried to break the inside of the music box so it wouldn't play the music. But instead, now it's legitimately a hidden message that we can all hear plain as day.
Or
I'm overthinking this, and it could be
off.
That could be exactly what it was for.
With your theories, you're usually spot on or way off the mark.
Yeah, I'm probably overthinking. It's probably just that's exactly how the music was printed on it in
That's what I'm
theory.
thinking.
Even though, like I said, when you look at a music disc, like when it's got where is the music disc at? When it's got the grooves all over the place like that, those are the different notes on there. If it was the same notes all the time, you'd see the same peg positions all the way in a circle form.
It would also make it look super sus from the get-go.
I know, artistic freedoms that people don't understand. I know.
You might just...
Okay.
We'll see.
We'll see next time.
Gosh.